Hello and welcome to the traditional versus virtual Prezi for COM 1019. In this Prezi, we will be talking about the differences between traditional and virtual communication. Traditional communication being in print or in writing, and virtual communication being the material of this course, so internet or email-based communication. First slide that we have to look at then is from paper to screens. You'll see two headings there, reading habits and eye tracking. The first one we're going to look at is reading habits. So how users read the web. Summary is that they don't. They scan the page picking out individual words and sentences. This is called scanning, a word you've probably heard. So scannable texts, making it scannable, use highlighted words, use hypertext links as one form of highlighting, and use typeface variations or different colors. These are all ways to draw your audience's eye to the important stuff and make the page scannable. Other ways to do it is for lists, use bullet points. For paragraphs, as with all good communication, only ever have one idea per paragraph. Use half the word count or less than conventional writing, and use meaningful subheadings, not clever ones. You want to be clear with your audience, not make them guess. A typical paragraph, this is an example of a typical paragraph that would be done in traditional writing. It has a lot of words, a lot of parentheses, a lot of information, and reads like a sentence. The concise version, this is that first paragraph boiled down into only the essential stuff, nothing extra, nothing distracting. Getting better, this is becoming better for virtual communication. So you see a short sentence at the top with a colon and then a bullet point list of 6 important things that you need to know. And the very best version, the most scannable version, is what you see here. One short sentence at the top with a list of all the important stuff for you to know. This is the way to make your writing scannable. This is the best version of writing that you can put together for virtual communication, which you will remember is the point of COM 1019. Next, we're going to look at some eye tracking studies. 3 design elements that are most effective at attracting eyeballs. This is for when you're looking at a web page. First and foremost is plain text. We read plain text. Second is faces. We read faces. We look at faces and we identify them and look at them most on pages. And lastly, and it sounds funny, but it's true, cleavage and other private body parts. Users almost never look at anything that looks like an advertisement, whether or not it is actually an ad. Even if your content looks like an advertisement, even if your content looks like an advertisement, your audience won't look at it because audiences do not look at ads. Questionable ethics then, making the ad look like content. A way to get around this, if you're writing ad content, is to make your ad look like a native site component. The more users then will look at it. If your ad looks like the rest of the page, then people will look at it, though this is kind of tricky. So the following heat maps show 3 examples that cover a range of user engagement with the content: quick scanning, partial reading, and thorough reading. On the right, you see thorough reading. In the middle, you see partial reading, and on the left, you see quick scanning. The heat maps also show how users don't fixate within design elements that resemble ads, even if they aren't ads, and thus aren't shown within green boxes above. Sadly, this means that putting important content in the right-hand column may be a bad idea. It'd be a very good idea for you right now to take a look again at the heat maps and study the shape of where people looked when they were scanning a page. And that's all for traditional versus virtual. Thank you for listening.